Hello everybody and welcome back. We're in Fusion 360 again because I had something when I was actually flying and I came across a, not necessarily dilemma, but I've been looking for a tool to help me. So when you get headings and altitudes from ATC, the big boys have their own little toys where all you do is scroll up, you scroll down, and it has your altitude in there. That's the altitude you're trying to hold. In Cessnas and stuff, there really isn't a way to hold it, so you either have to write it down or just remember it. Unfortunately, I tend to forget after a couple of minutes, so if I'm at 5,000 feet climbing to 9,000, I'll usually forget if I'm task saturated. So if I'm actually doing something, if I'm under the foggles, if I'm looking outside, if I'm deconflicting traffic, talking with ATC, I'll forget what altitude that I was assigned, and I'll either have to go look at where I wrote it or ask my instructor, because usually he'll remember it. But a nice little cheat is to make my own one of these. So I started looking online trying to find one, and the only one I found is this little Sky Buddy, which is electronic and it has heading and altitude. It's also extraordinarily expensive, and I don't see any site that has it, so it's not even purchasable at this point. And it's electronic, but most of the airplanes that I fly don't have USB ports. They don't have essentially a cigarette lighter port, electrical port, but they don't have those either. So I would have to bring a battery backup, and it's just one more thing to be plugging in at the very beginning. So I want to make my own. From that stemmed a couple of ideas. Most notably is the way that cardometers and utility meters, anything that clicks upwards and downwards, that's pretty much the design I was looking for. And they use what's called a Geneva mechanism. It's used in the little rotary clocks, it's used in just counting things where it just successfully ticks over. So we're going to make a custom one that I can turn altitude and heading up and down on. It's going to be kind of interesting. And the idea is to make this entire thing 3D printed, except for potentially one rod. We might 3D print it all, but the center section, I'm not sure there's a reason to. And eventually we might make it out of metal. The first piece we're going to make is going to be the lead screw. Let me see what those numbers. Let's do 1/4 of an inch. Let's go over and do those. Alright, the next thing we need is a center shaft. We're also going to need an outer shaft. Let's put in an assembly. Okay. Now we need to make what's known as, I think, the Geneva mechanism. Back to the assembly, we're going to have to change our spacing up a little bit. Eventually, I just need a bridge that bridges those. So it's not quite a Geneva mechanism, but it's close-ish. Alright, no idea how to do it, so we're going to go with a scroll knob. Yeah. No idea how to do it. I don't know how to do helical gears. That's going to take a serious amount of ingenuity. Let's make some sidewalls just to hold it. It's going to be a little modeling quirk we're going to have to fix eventually. But that's a good start. Now I just have to figure out how I want to add in a scrolly rolling knob. I think that's going to be it for this time. I'm unfortunately out of modeling time. It's been a couple of hours. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed watching me do a bit of modeling. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Hopefully this guy, we're going to complete this and potentially print it. So, we'll see you guys then.